Hey!
Hi, welcome to Intercoastal Dermatology.
Thank you so much. I'm really excited to get really up close and personal with my face. So yeah, let's get started.
Come on back.
All right. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. On today's episode of Beauty Darlings, I'm here at Intercoastal Dermatology with Megan. And we're gonna do a microdermabrasion facial. And I have a full face of makeup on, so we're going from literally the very beginnings, the pre-cleansing to, what's the last step?
We're gonna do a hydrogel mask.
Oh, a hydrogel mask. So if you're interested in watching everything about this process, please keep watching.
It's gonna feel chilly right by the window.
Is it ideal like to just come like with no makeup on?
I mean, that would be quicker. However, some patients are coming like right after work, or they're coming like during their lunch, and so I don't want them to feel like I have to wash my face or like it has to be like super clear. It's better. I mean, it's just faster because obviously like you can just start doing like a regular double cleanse. I like this. This is a deeper exfoliation like during a service. I do recommend doing actual physical exfoliation with something not nut or seed based daily actually. But doing this, you're also getting that light suction, which you'll feel, and that's stimulating collagen production. So it works a little bit deeper in the skin.
It doesn't hurt at all. It just feels like a little suction. That's all.
And we have different wands that we can use on different types of skin. We have fine, medium, and coarse. I do 2 passes of medium on your skin because your skin is fairly tolerant. But I always customize it like based on the first pass, what kind of erythema I'm seeing, and how they're reacting essentially.
What about like I've seen like so many crazy things about skincare trends and like microneedling, and like people are doing it at home and they're like literally puncturing their skin so that their skin bleeds to stimulate like micro injuries to produce and stimulate the collagen. Do you need to do something that invasive to stimulate collagen?
I've got a lot of feelings on people doing that at home, and none of them are good. Those dermal rollers, my issue with them is that most of the time the instruction is to like spray them with alcohol, because you can't really like scrub them or run them under water or do anything like that to fully like sterilize them to prepare for your next treatment. And also, and you as a nurse know this, every time you penetrate the skin with a needle, that needle dulls. And so every time you're rolling that over your skin, it gets more and more dull, and it ends up, instead of creating these tiny little micro punctures that can instantly seal, it can actually leave little tears in the skin, and that's just inviting bacterial infections, and it causes uncontrolled trauma. Microneedling in an actual like dermatologist office, or with a physician, or with a licensed esthetician if that's legal in your state. It is here in the state of Florida. It's a controlled injury. Those needles are actually penetrating the skin much quicker because they're typically in like an electronic machine, and you shouldn't anyhow. I'm sure they're available on Amazon. You shouldn't buy those online to do that yourself. But everything about our procedure is as sterile as it can be. Everything is one-time use. There's protective sheaths. Everything that we do is to minimize any sort of infection.
You offer 4 different facials. You get one once a month. You can have this one that I'm having now, the microdermabrasion, dermaplaning, and what were the other 2?
A custom facial where I'm using all of the ZO back bar products, and they're all medical grade. Or there's a stimulator peel, which will be a really mild, probably 2 to 3 day recovery type of peel. It's more of like a flaking versus a sheeting peel that every skin can do.
Yeah, that's spicy.
Enzymes are like little Pac-Men. They'll sort of go along and eat up dead, roughed up cells on the surface.
So it's going to town right now.
Yeah, definitely anything that gets kicked up by the microdermabrasion. And I like it because it also will stimulate blood flow, so it brings circulation, oxygenation to the skin, but it also will help with extractions. It softens everything up a little bit.
If you can't get to, like, to get a facial or to get extracted the right way, is there, like, a way to do it? Like, a tip you can give people at home if it's about to burst?
I think telling people not to pick is kind of unrealistic. It isn't good for you because most of the time it isn't to say that you don't know what you're doing, but it is kind of that you don't know what you're doing.
Basically, no.
And so we go a little bit harder on ourselves than maybe like a stranger would go on you. So like if I were extracting a pimple, I know after maybe 1 or 2 I push for 1 or 2 seconds and it's like nothing's happening. So I'm going to step away from that. You will probably think, okay, I'll give it a minute and then I'm going to go for it again. Every time you puncture that skin, you have the possibility of increasing post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, and you definitely don't want to do that. If you sterilize a needle, if it comes to a head, you've got a big white head on it, sterilize a needle, put a nice warm compress on there to soften everything up. You can give it a little puncture in the side and do, I'd say probably a max of like 1, 2, 3 pushes. What comes out, that's great. Wash your face, and then try to keep some sort of, keep it hydrated, or put something like an antibacterial agent on there so that you can kind of keep it from getting continually infected. Only if it has a head. If it is deep and cystic, usually around the jawline through here, definitely avoid picking at those, because you can really just make things worse. And it is true that when you press a pimple, you can spread it into the surrounding pore area. You can do it the right way. Just try and do it. Sterilize everything you can. Use isopropyl alcohol to wipe everything. Wrap your fingers in cotton or in tissue to keep like fingernails out of the game for sure. And just, like I said, limit yourself to 2 to 3 little pokes. Now the majority of what's coming out is just dead cell buildup. You've got a couple of blackheads through here. This is just a little layer of gauze, basically, to create a little, almost like a layer between the high frequency and your mask and your gel.
Okay.
So it can glide here. You won't really be able to see because it's so light in here, but this is an argon tip, and argon is great for killing bacteria.
Oh, okay.
And so the argon gas is in the actual high frequency one. And you have so this is a combination of brightening, clarifying, and antiseptic. So I kind of mixed them together to make this wonderful hydrogelly. pump of the Daily Power Defense on here. Lock in all that good stuff.
I feel so good, like my skin feels, it like, my skin got a nap. So if you guys enjoyed this experience, thank you so much for watching. I think it's really cool to kind of get behind the scenes and actually see what goes on in a facial, because people always say like, oh, I'm getting a facial, but what does it really mean? So if you enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Give it a like and make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.